All right, so right now in the background, you're watching Season 25 gameplay. And don't get me wrong, it looks pretty good, and things probably would be more exciting if it wasn't followed up with some of the worst news in Apex for a while. So what is that exactly? Well, Respawn basically just like fired everyone. I mean, literally laid off so many people, and not just anybody, but really important people. No offense, but sometimes they lay off people that we don't really know what they did, and it doesn't feel like they had any significant impact to the game itself. And maybe they did, but it doesn't always feel that way. But this time, we're getting news that they actually laid off some people that definitely had some motion. So it's weird because on one hand, you're excited because of the new Legend and even arenas coming back, and apparently a 1v1 arena duel mode coming in Season 25 with a mid-season update. Sounds nice, but how are you not absolutely gutted on the future of the game when you read this? These are mini accounts we're about to head into, so stay tuned for all of them. Each person has a little bit different of a value, I feel like. Garrett Metcalf comes out, got hit by the layoffs at Respawn, 11 years as a level designer without one. I guess that's something. Basically saying he's never been laid off before, and here we are. In 2020, I set a goal to lead a full map, and that became E-District. And I'm proud of what we built. I have no clue what's next, but yeah, I'm open to new gigs. And unfortunately, it was met with another level designer known as Aaron, who came out to say, Apex community, I tried to make something new and exciting for maps. It was a battle, and I probably lost a lot of hair, but the battle was lost. It's easier to ride a wave than go against a tide. Business people who are in spreadsheets say maps aren't worth the investment because of the cost to dev versus the return that they bring. Basically saying like the higher ups, the officials basically told us that our time inside of making new maps and map updates weren't bringing in enough money to justify it. So that's basically why these guys got cut. While it is true, he says, it comes down to the content. How many times can you use a different color for a pony ride before that pony gets boring? If a live service game has a strict level design checkbox philosophy, the content becomes predictable over the years and new map drops. Oh, I already know how it plays. It's just like last season. Of course, that's not going to drive numbers, but live service adopts old formula that boxed games have, quote, we have these strict pillars that we must follow every update. That one works for a one and done title, but not a game that is slated to last year after year after year. Anywho, the fire in me still burns, and it was fun making content for the fans of Apex, some of the most passionate players out there. So boom, we lost another. And these are not just people that worked at Respawn, but you had no idea what they did. They actually contributed directly to seasonal content updates, specifically with map changes. On top of that, this is probably where it gets the worst for me. And this is just so weird and a big yikes moment. The Apex Legends writer who created the new legend, Sparrow, was also laid off the day after the character was revealed. Hypermist also kind of added to this, saying that EA had laid off 300 to 400 employees, including around 100 from Respawn Entertainment, some of who created Apex Legends' newest character, Sparrow. Also, they canceled R7, a Titanfall universe extraction shooter that was in development. Well, it goes a step further than that. Yoru also comes out to say, well, anyways, to add on to all of this, they almost killed the ALGS team. Let's get a taste of the extreme chaos that the ALGS will bring us tomorrow. Talking about the live event LAN that's going on in New Orleans right now, the ALGS Open. And if you guys want to see updates on that and the esports side of Apex, make sure to go check out my ALGS news channel. But anyways, like, yeah, this is a very big community in Apex and probably one that's driving the game to its current popularity because you have so many streamers that endorse ALGS, the esports side of Apex. And like, honestly, this is their career. So if there is no competition, they're probably not going to stay around in the game to continue to play or stream it any longer, which only hurts its relativity moving forward. And it looks like they almost killed the ALGS team when they made these layoffs. I guess someone must have been in there trying to fight for the life and existence of ALGS for a little bit longer. But let's just be honest, it's EA. And if you won this argument once and saved them this time, it's just not likely that they're going to last another time. And we've already heard rumors from other pro players who have decided to retire that ALGS will not be around after this year. Current Respawn employees like Pav says, lots of talented people lost their jobs today and will be looking for work. Please reach out to them if you have any opportunities. They are the best in the biz. Pav's obviously a really great guy that's been around for a very long time. So it's good to see him still around. But then you've got people that were also here for a very long time that recently just left, like Moy, who was an animation director at Respawn for Apex for years and years and years, even Titanfall 2, and then he moved on to Infinity Ward, and now he's obviously working over on Call of Duty, and he reposted this saying, man, this is really sad to see even from the outside. Many years ago, you started to see these OG developers of Apex starting to jump ship and move on to other things, and you could see that Apex took a turn because what was once their little baby was no longer being produced by them. Also, don't forget, a couple of months ago, Respawn employees came out anonymously to say that they felt like their suggestions were falling on deaf ears, I guess assuming talking about EA. Even someone that I spoke there with at the company said that they were going to start doing the complete opposite of what they had been doing because obviously it wasn't working. Unfortunately, months later, I don't think many of us predicted that a lot of those people that had been at the company for so long would now be laid off. What's odd though is Respawn recently made this statement in which they were talking about like doubling down and, you know, making a lot of hard decisions, but we're going to invest a lot into Apex, or we're going to put a lot of, effort into the competitive scene here, or whatever message they were trying to relay. It just didn't seem right because shortly after this, we found out that they almost got hit with the ALGS team as well. And even a former pro suite says this definitely seems like the decision of a management company who wants to go all in on competitive and focus on it this year. Yeah, sure, because you definitely weren't just trying to lay off everybody. The idea of going all in or investing more into Apex honestly seems more like a monetary investment or something that will bring a higher financial return only. Like, obviously we know financial return is like the big idea at the end, but we would assume that they're going to try to make the game better so the fans enjoy it more and want to come back more and play more, and then they make more. But instead, we've already seen that they don't really want to do map updates or new maps any longer because it's not bringing enough money per se. So I wouldn't expect that, but I guess it would be nice if we actually got something as large as a brand new map put into the effort of something else. Like, could we devote all that time now to crazy abilities, or maybe extra legends, or maybe new fun game modes, or actually making game modes permanent that you talked about, making Apex more than a battle royale? Like, you've got to make up for it somewhere, or the fans obviously are not going to be buying this. The double standard is definitely being called on by a lot of the fans, and they are definitely concerned with what EA is doing with these layoffs. It's unfortunate because Apex seemed to be going in a better direction over the last couple of months at this point, and we even made a video saying that Apex was going to start getting a lot better, and that's because they had been making better patches and people had been appreciating the patches more, and we heard the devs themselves wanted to make some new stuff and new ideas that they felt like were being pushed back on. And maybe since the last couple of updates were somewhat positive, that EA would actually start to buy back into this idea and we would start to progress in that direction. But then after the layoffs happen, you got to ask yourself, where are we actually going? So interested to see your thoughts down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the scene. Until the next time, we'll see you all later.